All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. So today's theme is definitely inspired by the last seven. Today makes it the eighth day of just doing something that is simple, something that is repetitive, and something that is um, easy to do. Now, especially as a healer coach, if you have been struggling with building habits, one thing I can definitely tell you is that you're probably asking yourself the wrong questions. What do I mean by that? In simple terms, if you've read any books on habit change, habit transformation, there are some very simple, some very basic frameworks that are always talked about, right? So one of them, of course, is that can you do something that is repeatable? Can you do something that is the smallest unit possible that requires the least amount of effort? So in simple terms, it for instance, like over the last 8 days, I've made it a point that between 4 and 5 I go for a run. Now whether you look at my timing or you ask me personally, it's not about how fast can I run. It's not about how many kilometers I can complete in that, say, 15-20 minute window. The most important part, and for especially for people like us who are, that you are, heart of hearts, a healer. You know that your mission, your purpose is to be able to mentor other people, is to be able to coach other people based on whatever your core skill will be, right? So whether you're in the space of healing, the healing could be using yoga as your method, using tarot, reiki, body work, whatever it is that you have chosen, or let's put it this way, whatever has chosen you to go out into the world and make a difference. What's important is that somewhere inside of you, you've taken on a mission that is much bigger than you. So unless you're able to build certain habits, unless, more importantly, able to build certain systems, you will keep failing over and over again. By that I mean that because of this work of being a healer and a coach, it's very easy to fall ill. It's very easy to fall sick. Now, whether that is, a physical ailment, or whether that is, let's say, becoming a victim of your moods, either ways, one thing I can definitely tell you is that, if you have not been able to build certain habits, and by that, by token, if you've not been able to create certain tiny, simple, easy to do habits, you will, over a long period of time, keep failing. Now, here's the good news, right? Even if you've been failing till now, it does not matter. What's important is that this message may just be that message that can turn it around for you. Why do I say that? One, of course, over these last, I should say, about maybe 2.5, almost 3 years now, I have been making it a point that no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what the what's happening around me, that before I go to bed, I always record this pod. Now, if you've been a regular viewer, listener, and watcher of this pod, you know that over a period of time, I have been not only coming back every single day and recording this pod. Sometimes these pods are for 3 minutes, 4 minutes. There may have been times when maybe the pod was for about a minute and a half. There have also been times when the pod was for about 15, 20, 25 minutes. And there have also been times when it's been uh, well over an hour of doing the podcast. What's important is that I had decided long ago that I was going to record one video every single day. And to simplify it, initially I used to record one, or show up and do one Facebook Live every single day. And if you go back in time, you might find some old videos of me, doing this pod. Obviously, you'll notice my background was different. By that I mean my physical background was different. Maybe even my delivery was different. the way I spoke, what I had, let's say tools, technology, if you want to put it that way. But what's important is that I was clear that I was going to show up and do this every single day. And this was regardless of whether, let's say I was, on a creative break, whether I was, on a creative, let's say, an up ramp, meaning that things are going well, ideas are flowing, downloads are happening, and I'm like really in the thick of things. It did not matter. What's important was I had chosen, and that's what I want to remind you, that if you choose to do this in one area at a time in your life, there will come a point in your own life where you'll be able to do this in many, many areas. So now, of course, something that I started last week, and now it's becoming more and more abundantly clear that to simplify things, it's just about taking that time. And I've simplified it even further, saying that for within 20 minutes, I am going to put on my running shoes and step out of the house and do, a couple of chakkars. Now, however it may be, whatever my pace may be, all that is a bonus, right? So as I was, in fact, while I was on the run, I was, this idea came to me of sharing with you the power of repetition, right? And I'll tell you one thing, that repetition leads to reputation. So think about that for a second while I take a sip. And something to keep in mind, that maybe, pick one area of your life that you're most, um, let's say you're thinking about, like, okay, I would like to make a change in this area. And if you simplify it and ask yourself, okay, what's that one thing that I can do every single day, right? The one reason why I have chosen to literally run every single day, and for, as we say, it's like a very tiny unit of time, like 15-20 minutes, is like before you even know it, the run's already done. So it's manageable. It's something that is well within my control. And I know day to day what I will be doing at that time. Even when I'm planning my days in the morning, I know what my schedule is for that time where I'm going to be out and I'm going to be doing this. And this is just the beginning. Obviously, we will, have an opportunity to reflect on this a week from now, maybe a month from now, and maybe, 6 months or even a year from now. So something I can definitely tell you is that, if you've been struggling to build a habit, to maintain a habit, then one thing definitely that will come in handy is, having community. In fact, today in our community, we meet every single Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. And we were actually exploring this theme together. And obviously, because of my training, because of what I do, which is focusing on, the blend of hypnosis and NLP, the method is secondary. What's most important is that we have a community where people are here to support each other. And so maybe, especially if you're watching this and maybe you're part of our community or maybe you're seeing this elsewhere, just a reminder to you that, it's so important to have community. And if for whatever reason you're not already part of a community, or even if you're part of a community and you don't feel that you're getting the kind of support, the kind of accountability that you are looking for, definitely come and join us, because, learning skills is one thing. You can be in any number of communities and learn skills, but having that accountability, having a community that is here to support you, that is very, very important. So I wish you all the very best on your journey as a healer coach. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. And if there's any way in which I can help you, please do reach out and let me know. And of course, having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Take care.